It's Wednesday morning, middle of September. We're gonna head out on our second Northern Utah trail hike. We're really late in the year because of medical issues, but we're gonna give it a shot, see how my strength holds up today. It's 6:26 in the morning. You can see the silhouette of the mountains, so the sun is coming up pretty soon. I think the sun rises around 7:07 or something like that. We'll get to the trailhead about 7 o'clock, and it'll be somewhat light to head up, and we'll head up to Lewis Peak. It's a 10.5 mile round trip hike, I believe, and takes probably at least 6 hours for the average person. It'll probably take 7 for me. So if we start at 7 o'clock, I don't think I'll be through until 2 o'clock and back home by 3. So it's a long day. This is a shorter hike, but you do get 2,500 plus feet in elevation gain, and a lot of that comes right at the first. And this will be a warm-up for my Ben Lomond hike and my Mount Ogden hike. Both hikes are coming in the next 2-3 weeks. So we're gonna be doing some big peaks here. So we'll see how my body holds up this year to complete these peaks. Again, in previous years, I'd start out at Lewis back in June. I'd be seeing snow when I was hiking, but this year is September, so we're a lot later than normal. All right, here we are at the trailhead to Lewis Peak. It's just about 7 o'clock. Sunrise is about 7:09. It's pretty chilly. It's probably in the 50s, maybe low 50s right here at the start of the trail here. And it's pretty bright already. Probably started 15-20 minutes ago. Last year I ran into a gal who was coming back who started like 4 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, we're gonna get going on this trail. We've got a few cars in the parking lot. This is also the trailhead for Ben Lomond Peak, and here's the trail sign right here. North Ogden Divide Trailhead. So Ben Lomond Trailhead is on the other side of the street, and Lewis Peak is on this side. So we're gonna get going here around 7 o'clock. We're dressed fairly warm. I got a thin shirt on with a hoodie and long sleeves, and then I also have a puffy jacket on. I got some thermals on. I'll probably take them off in a little while. And my ultra hiking shoes, poles, camera, 3 liters of water or something like that. I even have a power drink, or can't think of the name of it right now. A couple sandwiches, some treats and such, and we're just gonna head up. Here we go. All right, here we are, going under the power lines from Kemmer, Wyoming. Down to the valley and then over to Kemmer, Wyoming. Pretty cool. Went to Kemmer, Wyoming last year when we did the Wind River hike. I'm working on the switchbacks right now, but some of the switchbacks go straight up the mountain, like this one. All right, we got here to this big tree here, and had this switchback, And you can see out and see the valley and everything. I had to take off my thermal bottoms and take off my puffy jacket, put my thermals behind this tree here and stuff my jacket in there, and that fills my backpack up. So we're going to continue our hike without all that extra clothes. Doesn't take long to overheat. Okay, shows I'm at 1 mile right now, and distance remaining is 4.19 miles to the Lewis Peak, and it's 7:50 a.m. We got a view of the other side of the mountain going up to Ben Lomond from here. All right, we're continuing our climb. Still a lot of 15% vertical climb most of the way, according to my Garmin. And looking forward to being up and looking over Ogden Valley in a few minutes. All right, we're up here. We got a view of the trail to Ben Lomond across the way, and North Fork, Liberty, Eden, and Ogden Valley, Huntsville. And we'll continue going. All right, our trek continues, kind of back on this west side of the Skyline Trail here. Keep plugging along though. Just had a bike rider come past me. I had to jump out of the way. He was coming down pretty fast, but it was all right. All right, we're heading toward that peak right there. So we still got quite a climb, and then eventually we're heading out to Lewis Peak out there at that point. All right, there's Pine View, Huntsville on this side, and right below us is Nordic Valley. All right, we got a trail marker here. We're on the Skyline South Trail. 002, North Ogden Divide, trailhead 1.8 miles back. So I guess we've gone 1.8 miles. I want to go to Windsurfer Beach trailhead, 7.5 miles that way. But we're going to continue. On the Lewis Peak Trail, we got 3.4 miles to go. And there's Lewis Peak, right out there above that sign. And looking back down the trail, we can see Ben Lomond over there just looming. And there's that one peak, can't remember what it is, on the way up. We'll do that in a week or two. All right, we're gonna be wearing our hoodie over our hat here. Plus we have this outfit that has these sleeves that have your thumb hook into them to cover up your wrists. And they'll prevent the sunburn today. I need to stay out of the sun a little bit today as I'm taking a doxycycline pill for a little while to get rid of a little infection. All right, we're at 2 miles. There comes a couple gals that's just running back down the trail right now. They must have got off early to get up here and run this trail. All right, taking a little side trail here. Instead of going up to the top of this peak here, there's a little side trail around that I'm gonna take. I saw a moose along one of these side trails that goes around one of these peaks one time. Not sure this is the one, but rather than climb up to the peak, I'm going to take the side trail. Last year when I came this way, I had snow because I did it in June. All right, here's the third hill that I'm avoiding, and I'm going around it here to the left. I've done that a couple other ones, so we're gonna keep staying to the left of these mountain hills. And this is the one I saw a moose on last year. We're heading west now, out towards the peak. Again, we missed a lot of little knolls of climbing up. We kind of went around them, and makes a nice hike. We're kind of on level ground in a way, and that makes it all worth it compared to coming up that North Ogden Divide. Another trail going right, but we're always taking the left instead of going to the top of that knoll up there. This is the more used trail. Oh, what a great hike. There's Mount Ogden over there. And looking down here. It'd be amazing to have a trail come up from Ogden Canyon here. Coming around here, coming around another knoll on our way to Lewis Peak, and I can look down there and I can see the Ogden Airport runway. That's where my nephew Craig, after flying around Wisconsin and all the country with his new plane, will land his plane when he comes back home. And I'll be up here hiking, waiting for his return. All right, the colors are changing. We're a little early, but here's some colors that are red. That's pretty. Come back in 3 weeks and there'll be all kinds of colors up here. All right, we're still heading east, kind of on the backside. We still got a view. You can go back to where the trail came from, kind of behind us. And I think we're gonna make it by 10:30, so 3.5 hours to the peak. All right, we're coming around to the top. Oh, what a view! Lewis Peak's right up here. One last climb. All right, we made it to Lewis Peak. Threw some of my stuff down, took a few pictures. Absolutely a beautiful day. Here we are, 8,031 feet, Lewis Peak. Brought my flag with me. Took a couple pictures with my flag on the sign. And out here, got a beautiful view of the valley. You can see the North Ogden fire, the scar that's left right there above those two trees. And great view of Willard Bay and the ponds out by the Great Salt Lake and the train track that goes across it. It's really lakes down on both sides of that trellis, little mountain. out there, and then Ogden Valley, of course, the old DDO, now it's the business park, Defense Depot Ogden. That was built during the war, World War II, the Ogden Airport. And beyond the Ogden Airport runway, you have Antelope Island with Prairie Peak. Need to go to Prairie Peak next. And then Ogden City, it's blooming like a rose. And then over to Mount Ogden. That's still on our to-do list this year. And then back to Lewis Peak. And we'll be heading back the way we came now. Took us about 3.5 hours to get out here, and see if we can get back in 3. See if we can get back by 2 o'clock. All right, I've had a little snack, a peanut butter and jam sandwich and a little yogurt, and now we're gonna head down. Got my head covered and arms covered and trying to stay out of the sun. It's starting to get a little bit warm, but not really. So we're at 4 hours. Took about half an hour here while we took some pictures and ate some lunch and sent some text messages. So we're gonna head down, see if we can get back by 2 o'clock. Got a little color. Not everywhere, but we got a couple little bushes right now. All right, you come off Lewis Peak a different way than you went in. It's kind of a loop. So we're coming down to the main trail eventually here, but we're in the thick of it right here, and we'll connect back in the main trail and head back exactly the same way we came. But in the meantime, we're on this little loop that comes down from Lewis Peak. We're back to the end of this loop, and this is the trail we went up to get to Lewis Peak, and we're heading back down the way we came now. Hey, we're getting back here. We're way over on there's Lewis Peak back there. Had 3 motorcycle riders pass me going out there. Might see them on the way back, but we continue our trek. This is a beautiful canyon right here. It'd be neat if there was a trail that went down to Ogden and it came up this way, but I don't see anything on the map that would indicate a trail coming up. But that would be pretty cool to have another trail someday. And I'm sure that, well, we came from Lewis Peak out there around, and now we're heading north on the Skyline Trail here, and heading back to North Ogden Divide. And there's a nice long spine of a mountain right there. I'm not sure that we don't go on that. That goes out towards Coldwater Canyon, which is right down below us. I don't know that the flag is flying at this point. When it is, you can see it from up here, so we'll have to take a look when we get around here a little bit further to see if we can see the flag that they fly across there in memory of one of our former North Ogden City mayors who was killed in Afghanistan. Went around one of the big tall knolls that other motorcycle riders go over. I think going around the right side here, but we got a view of the lake and Ridgeline and Liberty and Eden Falls down below that. And we're gonna go back up again here. Looks like he's going down that way. we have Junction to Skyline Trail, 1.1 mile. I don't know if that's how far we got to go or what, but we're heading that way. Looks like we're going to be going up again. Looks like, yeah, we're going to go back up quite a bit up here. And then we'll be going back down. Looking back to where I came, I took the lower trail here to the right and across there, but motorcycle riders or whoever wants to can take the upper trails and go over those knolls, but then they go clear out to that point to Lewis Peak. Oh, what a beautiful view of the valley down below. Looks like there's a trail over there. It'd be fun to go way out to that point. Don't know if there is a trail out to that point, but that's a beautiful ridge that goes out there, looking down to the reservoir, and the ski resort is down there somewhere. And here comes somebody up the trail right now, late in the day like this. And then Ben Lomond over there. Quite a view right here, North Fork over there. Alright, here's the trail. Let's see, this is the trail sign we saw earlier. Lewis Peak, 3.4 miles. So we've come back 3.4 miles. So that means we've gone 6.8 miles. And we need to get to North Ogden Divide, and that's 1.8. So add those together. 6.8 and 1.8 is 8.6. Even though I think this trail's supposed to be 10.5 miles long. All right, we're really starting our descent finally. Here's Liberty and Eden up here, and then North Fork. And across the way you can see the switchbacks heading up to Ben Lomond, and the parking lot right down below me, way down there is where we're heading now. So hopefully we can get down there without falling down on this slippery dry rock and gravel. All right, we're continuing down this initial side of switchbacks and straight down, and being as careful as I can, as you tend to slip once in a while. You could fall down on your rear end and get hurt pretty bad, so I'm trying to be as methodical and careful as I can as I go down. Continuing down the switchbacks, it's just absolutely beautiful day over here on the South Skyline Trail. See down the valley there, there's a cool breeze, makes it so comfortable hiking this time of year, and that breeze is just cool. But we have to be careful because it is a challenge walking on these rocks. All right, we're through with our hike. Went out to Lewis Peak, about 10.5 miles. Started at 7 o'clock this morning, just about sunrise. And now we're finishing up just a little after 2 o'clock. So about 8 hours, let's see, 5, 6, 7, about 7 hours. And it was a great hike. I managed not to fall coming down. It gets a little slippery in the gravel coming down. So I'm glad I didn't hurt myself today. At the end of the video, I'll put on here the equipment I used. I have a lot of different equipment that I've used for hiking, and at 71 I'm excited to be able to still be hiking. I look forward to a few more years of hiking, and what a great time to get out. This is a fall hike, and the next couple hikes will be fall hikes as well. So it's been fun hiking this year. Haven't had the opportunity to get out as much as I usually do. Anyway, thanks for watching the video today, and we'll catch you on the next hike.